Welcome back to the Life and Listings podcast. I have Mike joining us today, all the way from Hawaii. Hey, Mike.
Hi, how are you today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Another beautiful day here in paradise. November is when the weather really starts getting good. So for the next 6 months or so, it's beautiful out here. The air conditioner's turned off. It's really pleasant, and winters here are awesome.
Lucky. We're talking about coming and visiting soon, so I might have to come in the next couple of months.
You definitely should.
So, for anybody that's listening in, you're with the NextHome franchise and known you for a couple months. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you serve, how long have you been in real estate?
I started in real estate, got my license in 2004 out here in Hawaii. I'd moved just before that, came out here, didn't know a soul, and started my real estate business from scratch. It was really interesting starting at that time. That was uh, also a really hot market, 2004 through 2007. And, money was being tossed around pretty freely. It was really easy to get people into homes. They didn't have to have any money. We all know what happened afterwards, but it turned out to be the worst environment ever to start a real estate career because it gave you an unrealistic expectation of the work that goes into it because things came so easy. And we're seeing a little bit of that happening now where people are realizing that real estate can be pretty tough after we had a really strong run after COVID. So, I had to reinvent myself after the Great Recession and really start working hard into my business. And starting in 2010, I started getting a little bit of traction on that. And then from there, it's been just really every year has been better than the year before for the most part. Served as a local board president in 2017. I'll be an NAR director for 3 years starting here in December. I've been on our local boards, been on my state board. So really been a pretty it's real estate's been pretty awesome for me. I started my NextHome franchise, signed the paperwork, and actually went live here in Hawaii the Monday before the lockdowns began, which was an interesting time to start a business. I was, as you might imagine, quite panicked. And, was going to all the Zoom meetings everyone was having where they were trying to get together. I could think of it back in that time, the first few months of the pandemic, as sort of a free group therapy session where we all just tried to top each other up. But then, summer came around and things started changing, and, you'd miss a meeting here or there because you actually had to go video a property. And here in Hawaii, we really saw a strong boom starting by September, October of 2020. I realized that this was moving. I wasn't really sure why at that time, but I knew I needed to jump on the train, and we started going ever since then. So, it's been pretty outstanding since that time for us here.
I want to dig into what you were mentioning a little bit ago. You reinvented yourself after the recession. So tell me a little bit about that. What did you put into play to kind of, elevate your business?
It's kind of funny, back then, this is pre strong internet leads or certainly before video, or anything like that. And some of it's really true now when I talk to some of our newer agents. It's still sticking with the basics. It's still doing the work. Marketing, you can still do mailers, different types of prospecting, getting involved in your community and building relationships. That doesn't change. There's different
Mhm.
ways that you can start those relationships and enhance those relationships, but it's still a relationship business. So I really just put an effort into building relationships, and building a network. Whereas the first few years in real estate, you just fell into deals when you had conversations with random people. You
Yeah.
could go walk through Walmart with your real estate name tag on and have conversations with strangers and, write a contract for a condo pretty easily. But when that all changed and you really had to start doing things, I actually found that sticking with tried and true methods worked, and it still works today.
So building your network because you're in Hawaii, obviously building your network locally is pretty standard, right? You're getting to know everyone that lives locally. How are you kind of connecting with people that are moving from either other islands or from, the mainland?
So for the longest time, you were working. I had a network that I had built up here through a cycling club that my wife had started and that, her and I were a part of that were, sort of leadership. And we would have people come to the island, and want to come ride with our cycling group, and you get to know them. And when they came to look to buy, that was one place. And then, I went through some of the traditional methods where you're paying a referral company, who has the lead and sends them out here, and that was helpful for a while. And then something that I just started after the pandemic was working on a YouTube channel, and so I started building that from scratch. Didn't really know what I was doing, but had a phone with a camera, and started recording, doing house tours because I noticed Zillow was just getting a ton of traffic. People were sitting around looking at homes, stuck in their home, going, I don't really like it here so much, and thinking about where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I thought that might be a way to reach people, and that turned out to work out really, really well. Invested in that for a little while, and now I don't have to invest in it anymore. It just works for me automatically, and we've gotten a lot of leads and closed a lot of transactions from that. So that's really been something that's helped a lot, particularly for my market where you're trying to find how do you reach those people on the mainland who come here and they
Mhm.
don't know anybody necessarily.
Yeah.
Uh, it's hard for them to find someone, so I've found that this has helped me find people.
And last I checked, you're up to how many followers on or subscribers on YouTube?
We broke 20,000 a couple weeks back, so yeah, over 20,000, and then, when you have great videos, you get good traction. And I take videos of the listings here in the na in my market. I talk to the other agents. I make sure to let them know I'm always gonna show the home in a positive light. I'm not here to embarrass anyone or anyone's
Yeah.
property, and not every home should be on YouTube, and I make sure to give them proper attribution. That's super important. But, I'll tell them, when I go do a video of a property, I'll have more views in 24 hours than they'll have in Zillow in 3 months. And
Amazing.
so one that I took I launched it on Sunday a week ago. So we're on day 9 and we're at 32,000 views and over 900 hours of watch time. And that's like super engaged people looking at a property as opposed to just photographs on Zillow. So it's
Yeah.
a really, yeah, it helps everybody out. So win for everybody. And I get actually a handful of listing agents calling me now saying, hey, can you go take a video of my property?
So now you have agents reaching out to you instead of you being like, "Yeah,
Yep,
can I go to
that
you?" So like,
happens
"Can I
pretty
please have
frequently.
a can I have a spot on the YouTube now?" Because if you're gonna get 900 hours of watch time, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
That's a
awesome.
lot. That one was a bit of an outlier because it was such a unique property, but even just a regular condo that I put on there, you'll have more views and certainly more time on it than on Zillow.
Awesome. Well, I kind of want to dig into a couple things that we were talking about. You've taken a couple chances on yourself, getting into real estate, reinventing yourself after the recession, and then opening a franchise. Not that you meant for it to go live right before COVID, but I'm sure it turned out to be a good time once you got going and got out of all of those therapy sessions. So you kind of mentioned if you're not willing to take a shot on yourself, how can you expect someone else to? So let's dig into that a little bit and how you kind of do that for yourself and then probably your agents too.
I think it's really easy to be comfortable and know that you can do what you've done and get the result that you've gotten. And if you're okay with that, then that works for people. And they don't want to take risks to try and grow. There's no growth without discomfort. There's no guarantee of success. Not everyone will make it, but if you're good and you work hard and you do the
Mhm.
things that you should do, you're virtually guaranteed to succeed. But you have to be willing to take that shot. You have to be willing to fail somewhere along the line, adjust, learn, and get better. But if you're not going to take that shot on yourself, and if you don't believe in yourself to do it, that lack of confidence, that lack of belief, I believe it exudes from you. And if you're on a listing appointment or with a buyer or something, and you're unable to speak confidently and intelligently about the market, the house, the process, whatever it is, I think it comes through. And I
Mhm.
think it actually will, you'll have lower results from other people. And a lot of it starts with not really believing in yourself enough.
Mhm.
So for me, it's always been really important to have that confidence. Now, uh, unearned confidence is not good. You can't just be confident for the sake of being confident. You need to do the work it takes to educate yourself. Too many people are taking shortcuts, I think, and looking for shortcuts. But if you are able to do the work and you can retain some knowledge and you're interested in it, I think you're pretty well guaranteed just about to succeed.
And are you coaching any of your agents at your brokerage to kind of be more confident and get out there and do things?
We talk about getting out of your comfort zone, and no growth without discomfort. Pretty commonly,
Yeah.
it's something we really talk about.
Because were you comfortable with video when you went out and did it for the first time?
Nobody's comfortable their first time on video. Everyone
Yeah.
is not confident at first with that. You don't like the way you look, don't like the way you sound. Most people tend to be their harshest critic. I was Keith Robinson was talking about this when it comes to video, and he's one of the leaders over at NextHome at the corporate office. He talks to people. He says, "Hey, how long have you been in real estate? 10 years. How long have you been doing it with that face? 10 years. Okay, now you're just going to have a camera on. People have already been seeing you. They've
Yeah.
already heard you. You've already done all this. It's just now you have to look at it too, and kind of have a mirror up to it. And so I guess that's a little bit different, but you just have to overcome it. And what you're going to find is even when you're not at your best, people still really like it. I had a video where I walked right into a sliding glass door. Completely still. The door was amazingly clean. I walked right into it, and I just left it in the video. And I got so many laughing comments about it, and you can see on YouTube viewership spike up. Like people actually went back to watch me walk into the sliding glass door. And it just means you're real. It just means you're a human being. You're not
Mhm.
this polished person that really exudes a salesman-y vibe that people are quite turned off by. And if you just be real and be yourself, I think you're going to find it's pretty successful. You'll find your tribe
Now I need to go.
who like you.
And I like the comment that Keith says, right? Like, this is what you look like. This is what you sound like. Just because now you're looking at it on camera over and over again, you were successful before. You were selling real estate before. This is what you're going to show up and look like when you're showing them a house. So it's real. And now I need to go find that YouTube video of you, Mike, because I think that's pretty funny that you walked in a sliding glass
Uh,
door.
That's video like number 40 or 50 or 60 somewhere in there. We're a few hundred in now. So it would be deep. And if you're in there, that's great. The algorithm will really like you digging into the stuff there. So you're totally fine.
That's so funny. Yeah, I recently had a video go live that my kid ran into the back of it and like said something crazy at the most opportune point that I was being interviewed. And all the comments on YouTube are just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened." Da, 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 da. It's just right in the background. I'm like, okay, this is real life. So you also mentioned something, and I really am interested to dig into this because it's the opposite of what everybody's saying right now. You said work smarter, not harder is horrible advice.
I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. Everyone's looking for shortcuts. Everyone thinks they're just going to hack their way to success. And it's a great clickbaity sort of idea. And I see it in like people's Instagram reels and YouTube shorts where they're like, I'm gonna hack my way to do this or whatever. And it sounds great. But the truth is that the really smart people are doing both. They're working
Mm,
smart and they're working hard. If you're just looking for the hack, if you're just looking for the way to work smart to be super efficient, cool. I'm pretty smart too. And if I'm going to work twice as hard as you, by the time I hit June, I'm already done with what you're going to do for the whole year. Right.
yep.
And so the rest of the year, I'm just whipping you. I'm just beating you. I'm just getting better faster than you. And so for the people who are out there just work smarter, not harder, cool. The smart people are doing both, and we're
Yeah.
just going to kick your butt. Don't think that just finding a shortcut is going to get it done, because at the end of the day, your clients are going to be able to see it. They can smell it.
Mm,
And you
yep.
may BS your way through a contract here or there, but they're going to know it when you're in escrow that you don't have the answers, that you don't know everything that you need to know. You're not going to get that full hearty referral for the next client. But when you do have it, when you have spent the time investing in yourself, you've worked smart and hard, you've put in the
Mhm.
hours, you've done the grinding, that shows. And then you get absolutely loyal customers and clients. You get them referring you to other people. And to me, that's where you got to go. So this mindset of working smart, not hard, I think people do really look at it as binary. And I think that that's the mistake. And I see that sort of mistake happen a lot. And it's just things generally are not binary, but the human brain really likes to bring things down to just two options and then pick one or the other. And I think that's generally a mistake. And so to me, it's not binary. It's not work smarter or harder. You got to do both.
Yeah, you do need to, right? And there's so much education that comes into what we do. And I was just working on like license renewals and everything right beforehand. And it's just like there's so much stuff that you have to do. You can't get out of that. You can't get out of the work that it takes to be successful in the long term, right? You can jump into this business and sell a couple houses to your aunt and uncle and back out. But if you're trying to do this for the long haul, open a brokerage, bring on agents, train them, really truly build a business, you need to work hard. You need to work smart too, because obviously you don't want to work thousands of hours a week, but you need to do both.
That's been my mindset. So when I hear people say it, I mention to them, cool, we're doing both here. And you may want to consider that too. Because it a lot of times it's the same people that you see who really just aren't putting in the time. And I'm okay with that, with people doing that, because to me it's just an opportunity, is how I look at
Mhm.
it, for me to excel when we're competing against each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to pivot just a little bit. Mike, what is your superpower?
So I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit here. I'm lucky in that I have ADHD, and ADHD is my superpower when it comes to real estate. One of the things that's really great about this condition is that if it's something you're interested in, you have an incredible ability to retain knowledge, to hyper focus on things.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, I love real estate and I can focus in on it and I can remember things really well. And especially with, processes and strategies and negotiations and obscure things that we can do within a contract to make sure that someone's protected, or that their needs are met sometime during escrow within the contract. Just always had a really good ability to do that with things I'm interested in. And I'm really interested in real estate. I love it and I have a passion for it. And that's actually been my biggest superpower. I'm able to retain that knowledge and use it at a moment's notice 100% of the time. Now, if it's something I'm not interested in, I can read the same paragraph 6 times. I couldn't tell you what it said. I'm just, real estate is the thing that it does it for me. And
Yeah.
so my superpower is my slight neurodivergence, which I think, everyone has their idiosyncrasies. And I think you can not let them hold you back. You can find your place with those. And that's kind of the thing that's worked out for me.
I love that. Is there something that you're like super uninterested in that you just can't focus on ever?
Gosh. If it's I'm a very, very social person, but I can't keep the social calendar together. My wife does a great job. She puts everything on Google in my phone so I can see what I have. We can talk about, we're going to go to dinner tonight with Kevin and Kelly at 7 o'clock at this place. And she will even tell me as I leave for the office that morning. And at lunch, I'll just text her, are we doing anything tonight? I just don't remember. It's just weird. And I have a great time and I love doing it. I'm very social and I love going out. For whatever reason, I just can't keep those sorts of things, those extracurriculars in my mind. And what happens is when she's telling me stuff, I'm actually thinking about work things because I am
Well,
hyper focused on that. And so it
yeah.
just floats by. So, social things, for some reason, I just have a brain fog and, I just have to come home and you know, what do I need to wear? And let's go and to go have fun. But I just, for whatever reason, don't remember any of it.
That's because Lisa just has it completely planned and handled. You just need to show up wherever she tells you to go.
She is an incredible planner, especially when it comes to the social stuff like that. She's everyone's planner. Anytime anyone wants to host anything, they reach out to her because she's really good at it. So she definitely fits, her strengths come over top of my weaknesses and works out great.
We love her. She's amazing. Well, Mike, this has been awesome. Anybody that's been listening in or watching this, if they want to go find you on YouTube or if they want to reach out to send you a referral, where should we send them?
So my YouTube channel is youtube.com/Hawaii Real Estate. So that's a good way to find me on YouTube. If you just type in my name, Mike Drutar, or Mike Drutar Hawaii Real Estate, you'll find me there on YouTube, also on LinkedIn, Mike Drutar Hawaii Real Estate on Instagram. Those are the best ways to follow me. My primary thing is YouTube though. And so you could easily get in touch with me right there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been great.
I appreciate you having me on and good luck with the pod.
Have a good day.
All right. See ya. Aloha.